Yo, what up? This is Dr. Harmony, and you are now watching Dr. Harmony TV. Hotep, everyone, and this is Brother Devin Harris, aka Dr. Harmony, and this is episode 2 of Sekhmet Says. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the importance of loving others. Now, last time we spoke about the importance of loving yourself and others. Excuse me. But this time, this is a continuation of where we last left off in our first episode of Sekhmet Says. So, without further ado, let me channel the essence of Sekhmet. I'm going to call upon my spiritual dominant alpha female queen nine times, and we'll get started. All right, y'all. So we're back, and I channeled the energy of Sekhmet about 9 times. Now, she wanted me to reveal this to my subscribers. She is my spiritual dominatrix, and I'm her submissive. If I were to go back to Kemet, because I have a past life in ancient Egypt. I was King Tut. I think if I was to have a future in ancient Kemet, I would be Heru, which is the god Horus. He's Horus in the Greek language. Thank you, Sekhmet. And, but he's what they call Heru to most Africans. And there's actually a painting, and I think I'm gonna upload this to excuse me. I'm gonna upload this to the video so you guys can see it. But yeah. So she remembers having a past life with Heru. She says it was very intimate, as well as sexual. So she says we would talk a lot. We would talk. She says we would talk a lot about spiritual things. So and then she says they would play with each other and then have sex. So I definitely do remember that, because I know I have a few past lives in Egypt besides, being King Tut. But I never thought I would have a past life with the goddess Sekhmet. Until now. I think she was a part of my spiritual contract in the past. So here it is in my reform life. She's a part of my journey, and then my mother is an alpha. Personally, my mother is an alpha female, and she's also a Leo. So if you look at the Kemetic zodiac, Sekhmet falls into the calendar and the category of Leo. So shout out to all the dominant women that are Leos out there. Brother Devin wants to say, I love each and every one of you, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Okay? So, alright, so we're gonna go into the importance of loving others. Okay, and towards the end of this video, I'm going to give y'all a lesson from me that I got from a Facebook game that I was playing, and it resonated with me really well, because what my ancestors are doing to me right now at this point is that they, and I'm talking about my family ancestors, not my ancient ancestors, but my family ancestors, they want me to learn life lessons and experience those life lessons as I go along, because experience helps me to gain wisdom. Anybody can have knowledge, but I think wisdom is having the best knowledge, because wisdom is what leads you to the all of truths. Okay? And I think I'm gonna do a video blog after this, and I'm gonna come to y'all with another video blog. Ooh, Sekhmet just asked me, can she be a part of the video blog? Yes, goddess Sekhmet. She says, okay, sweetie. Alright, so anyway, let's get to the video. Give me 1 second. Okay. And so now we're back. Excuse us for a minute. Alright. I apologize, y'all. I had to belch while the spirit of Sekhmet was around me, and I didn't want to be very rude in the video. And belch all in the video. I think that would have been, like, very inappropriate. Give me 1 minute. Alright. This is much better. Okay. So here we have Sekhmet sitting on her throne. Okay? So one thing I want, I apologize. The thing Sekhmet wants me to tell my subscribers is that people have been promoting what they perceive of her from the outside is that she is a goddess of war. Excuse me. People perceive her to be a goddess of war. Now, this is she says that's particularly true. She says, however, she's also a goddess of love. She's a goddess of healing and protection. And she answers to nobody but God, who in the Kemetic language is Ra. That's her father. And her divine mother is Ra'ah. Okay, which would be the female representation of Ra. Okay, that's her parent, and she answers to no one else but them. Um, yeah. So, real quick, let me say this: her parents represent the holy divine masculine spirit, and her mother symbolizes and represents the holy divine feminine spirit, the great mother of this universe and the multiverses above us all as human beings and subhuman beings, as well as super sub and ultra super sub. Okay. So, anywho, let's get to what we should have been getting into. She says, we're sorry, we just had a lot to share and say. And she says, plus we like long videos. Sometimes, right? Yeah, sometimes. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Alright, so let's talk about the importance of loving others. Now, let's get into why it's important to love others. It's important to love others because, wait, first of all, let me see what my goddess and spiritual dominatrix says. All right, so she's laughing. So anyway, let me see what she says. She says, Sekhmet says, the importance of loving others is being able to find out. Excuse me. She says it's having the ability to find out what each person has in common with the other person. And she says there's a difference between being intimate and being sexual. And I learned that from one of my subscribers. She goes by the name of Jet Setting Jasmine on YouTube. Check her out. Okay, she before Sekhmet, no offense, goddess. She says it's okay. She says before Sekhmet, I want to say that the Sekhmet in Jet Setting Jasmine shared with me that there's a difference between being intimate and being sexual. To be intimate is simply put. To be intimate is simply put like this. You're diving into each other's intellect as well as your intuitive intelligence, the right part of your brain, the part of your brain that's emotional. You know what I mean? So you as a male are trying to get to know your female counterpart from a courting perspective, like, you know, what your common interests are, your favorite color, why those hues or colors are your favorite colors. Yeah. So, and mundane stuff, and then I won't say spiritual because people use that word too loosely. So I'm gonna take out. I'm gonna use a bigger word, and we'll say metaphysical, mental, physical, metaphysical. All right. Shout out to KRS-One. Okay. All right. So anyway, being intimate with a person can also mean having spiritual conversation with that person. And she says it doesn't necessarily have to be a lover. You can be intimate with anyone, a friend, a parent, grandparent, anyone. To be intimate is loving that person's soul and their spirit. And she said, and the goddess Sekhmet says, a lot of people confuse intimacy with sexuality. She says those are two totally different things. So she says when people are being so-called intimate from the sexual level, it's not necessarily intimate. What it is it's being heterosexually, androgynously, or homosexually romantic. I was having a quick conversation. I was trying to make sure I was getting her words right. She says I got them right. She says, yeah, good job. All right. So what else got in Sekhmet? She says also the importance of loving others is sacrificing your own desires for the other person. She's giving me a Christian perception. She says think about Jesus dying on, in this case, the tree. She says, which is in Acts chapter 5, verses 1:30 through 35. When Jesus was hung on she says when Jesus was lynched, he sacrificed his own life for those he loved. And she says not many people are willing to do that these days. People think that they should love each other based on their own ego, and when they feel it's convenient for them. she says again, that is not loving others. That is a practice based upon self-love. In order to love others, you basically have to do the things that you don't want to. Okay, she's helping me channel. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, she told me to channel from the heart, not the head. Okay. Okay, there we go. I can feel your energy better now. All right, so yeah, she's making me go back to what I said, and it's basically that you, and she says this is gonna be. She says it's gonna be. She says it's going to be uncomfortable for people to accept this philosophy, but it's true. When you love others from she says not necessarily the intimate level, but from the romantic sense, you basically have to give up yourself and become the awareness that the other person sees fit, and that's in any relationship. And she says she's sorry for putting it like that for some people that are really uncomfortable. And she says if you find this disagreeable, that's totally okay. But she says know that it's the truth. And she says she hates to put it like that, but giving up your mind in exchange for the other person's mind has to be benefit. It has to be beneficial. Okay, I was right. She was saying beneficial in order for the relationship between you and your partner to work, whether it be heterosexual, androgynous, and homo. Okay. And we can't forget about the polyamorous, polygamous, okay? Because there's several different types of love. There's many types to express love. And she says this too. She wants to give a metaphysical perception. To love, the importance of loving others is to love the 7 awarenesses of yourself. Okay, so for instance, we have 7 major chakras, right? The root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus. No, excuse me. The the soul star chakra, the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the the uh, the third eye, third eye chakra, and the crown. So these 7 chakras represent your 7 personalities. You have a lot of survival. You love the fact that you have the ability and the willingness to survive. You love the fact that you can be confident in I'm sorry, sacral chakra. Let me see. You're passionate in everything you do. It doesn't have to be just a physical thing. She says sex is spiritual to an extent, but love is even. She says it's more intense. It's more spiritual than the sexual part. She says sex only pertains to the physical and the astral. She says she says sex is not celestial. And she says if she has that wrong, she's sorry. She says she's learning herself, everybody. She's learning herself. But she says that she's never seen light being romantic with light. She says, can 2 souls come together and be loving towards one another? Sure. She says she's never seen two souls being erotic. She says, although that does sound fun, and she laughs. Is there anything else you want to share about us? She also states that to love others is to accept each other's emotional differences, your spiritual differences, as well as cultural differences. She says, the whole, okay, I'm making sure I'm getting her words right. The whole race of white people know that they are one. She says, do you as black people know that you are one and you are a whole race within yourself? And she says, sure. She's not against African people being loving, being intimate and erotic with other races. She says, do as you wish. Do as you wish. But the importance, she says that the main thing she's trying to express through me is that the importance of loving others is being in harmony with each other. It's also about accepting that person's whole being. And also let me just state this. All right, I'm sorry. Text message. I'm gonna answer that later. I apologize, everyone. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna put another scene on here. Okay, so we're back, and I'm gonna get Sekhmet to talk again. The air just came on, so it's getting kind of cold, and I don't like the channel in cold air, but I'm gonna try anyway. She says yes. She says yes. Try. She says try, baby. Okay. And she wants me to tell people, and she says this is what I should have said in the first in the beginning of this video, is that she is also the representation of the Divine Mother. So if anyone is in need of some real love, some true intimacy, she says not romance, but if you are seeking the affection of a parent, she says she's the one to call on. She's one of the ones to call on. She's my personal favorite as well. She says yes, I've done. She says I've done a lot for Devin. She says I make her smile. Aww. Thank you, Goddess Sekhmet. She says you're welcome, sweetie, in spirit. All right, so again, the importance of loving others is being respectful of each other. When you respect each other's feelings, it lets both of you know, as friends or partners. It lets you know that you'll be able to have a strong trust with that individual, that person can be loyal to you. the the loyalty is there. She says there's no deceit. There's no deceit. And she says there's no hypocrisy. She says only understanding. But she says in order for unification to work, she says one must love themselves first. She says, as we said in episode 1, one must love themselves first. She's reiterating that to make sure that myself and y'all out there on YouTube watching understand this. Okay? So she interrupts. She says she's sorry. She says she loves me. She loves me so much. I love you too, Goddess Sekhmet. But is there anything else you wanted to say? I asked her and she was like, I think that's it. She giggles. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to share something I learned off of Facebook that resonated with me, and I hope to my subscribers that it resonates with you. Okay, so first let me say this, that there was a Facebook game, if you know the little app thing called Queeze, okay? The little female bumblebee, and she makes you play all type of Facebook games. Anyway, the question was posed to, it could be posed to anyone, but me in particular. And this is Devin speaking. This is not Sekhmet. Okay, so anyway, the question that was posed to me was, what was missing in my relationships, like what was my flaw, basically. And so I clicked on the little game thing or whatever, and the answer was you don't put others first other than yourself. So the lesson for me was that I need to learn to be considerate of other people. Sekhmet interjects and she says, whether I'm in a friendship or a romantic relationship, and she's like that and she's like, that includes your wait, hold on. That includes, she's like, that includes me. And she laughs. Oh, is that all you wanted to say? Yeah. Yeah, that includes her. And I'll say this. That also includes my twin flame. Hi goddess. She knows who she is. But yeah. Anyway, so what did we learn today? We learned that the importance of loving others is to basically care and accept the reality of our being, because whether it be romantic or non-romantic, and me and Sekhmet say together, we are all one. So she says, so if you really haven't learned to love the other person besides yourself, she says, then you really don't understand what it means to be in a you really don't understand the importance of what it means of loving the other person. She says, ask yourself this. She says, ask yourself, what is your mistake in your love relationships? Are you selfish? Are you inconsiderate of others? Do you put yourself first before others? And she says, not that that's a bad thing, but when you love yourself too much, although you can never love too much of yourself, she says, however, she says, when it comes to romantic relationships, erotic relationships, she says, from the romantic perception. She says, yes, perception. She correct me. Oops. Sorry about that. When it comes to loving others from the romantic and erotic perception, she says, because you don't necessarily have to be in love with that person. You don't have to be in love with that person. She says, you can just have a fling with that person. For those of you that are into fetishes, I know this is her now, you know. She says, for those of us that are into fetishes, you have to be considerate of other people's sensual spots, what what they like, what they don't like, and how to prefer, and how excuse me, help me, Sekhmet, I'm stuck. And okay, basically how you can excuse me, basically how you can be considerate of basically one's pleasures, you know, when because that's another thing I learned, because when I was a straight guy, when it came down to being sexual with someone, no, seriously, when it came down to being sexual with someone, I was always the dominant one, and it took me some years to say, oh, okay, you know what, I'm losing a lot of women in my life. I don't like this experience. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this part of my reality. So let me try to change the whole paradigm of this reality. So I decided to become the submissive, regardless of who I was choosing to be submissive to, because in order for you to love another person, you have to be willing to give up a part of yourself and be that other person. You have to be willing to become that other person. And Sekhmet says, she thinks she's in agreement with that. She would agree with that. And she says she just mentioned it a little while ago in this video. So if you want to love others, or better yet, if you want to love another individual, you have to be willing to sacrifice a part of yourself in order for that person to connect with you. And she says, remember, it's not just in romance. It's in friendships and your family relationships with family, because there's three types of ships, she says. There's friendships, she says there's friendships, there's love relationships, and there's parenting love relationships. I like that, parenting love relationships. Better yet, she says scratch that. Family love relationships. And she says, okay, she wants me to repeat that again. All right, so there's three types of ships. There's family love relationships, there's friendships, and there's love relationships. Okay? These are three totally different things. And she wants me to remind y'all again that there's a difference between being intimate with someone and being sexual with them. And she says there's a difference between there's a difference between being in love with a person and loving a person. Loving a person is expressing a like, she says it would be like expressing a hug. Which is a simple, kind gesture. She says it's also about being kind, showing kindness to one another. Pulling out a person's chair for when they sit in their seat. She says that's being loving. She says a simple act of kindness is being loving, because it shows that other person that you care. She says, and vice versa. She says, okay. She says she thinks that's it. And guys, I'm done myself, so I want to thank you guys for listening. And she wants a kiss, excuse me. So, in closing, I'll say this. Yes, it's important to love yourself, but also learn how to I don't want to say sacrifice, because it sounds kind of it sounds kind of harsh if you think about it, because it's like when you sacrifice something, you're actually cutting off something. What about the word exchange? Sekhmet says that's even better. So when you exchange, let me get some water real quick. Okay, got me some water. My tongue was getting dry, all that talking. Again, when you exchange your self-love for a family love union, a friendship union, or a love union, it's important to be considerate of another person's feelings, because we are all reflections and representations of others. So right now in my journey, I'm learning to be considerate of other people's feelings, and that also means being a part of the other person. This is from Brother Devin. If you feel that union, whether it be a family whether it be a family union, friendly union, or a romantic union, if you feel that doesn't work for you, then you can just let go. Let go. Let go and move on. Even Sekhmet is saying the same thing. She's in agreement with that. So I think I think that's about it, y'all. So until next time, all right, sorry about that. Battery's getting low, so let me end this right now. So in the meantime, put 3 stars in your heart, which is love, knowledge, and wisdom. And remember to always love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself first, then how in the world is anyone else supposed to love you? Or how can you love another if you don't love yourself first? So this is Brother Devin, aka Dr. Harmony, and Sekhmet and I are out. Peace. She says bye, everyone. And she says Hotep. Hotep. Hotep, guys. Alright, I'm out. Hey everybody, this is Brother Devin Harris, aka Dr. Harmony. And I just want to say, if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. If you do this means that you're in support of all of my content here on YouTube. So if you don't mind, I'd like you to like this video, give a comment, subscribe to the channel, and most of all, share my videos, because I got more stuff coming up for you guys. In the meantime, this is Brother Devin saying peace out and thanks for watching. You're watching Dr. Harmony TV.